Are you going through any kind of marital issues? You do not want to have any kind of relationship or marital issues while you're on the road, because those kind of problems tend to make your mind wander off. And when your mind wanders off out here, you start running over soccer mom vans, killing children, or killing people walking across a pedestrian walk. Get your marriage straight. If you can't get it straight, stay off the road, please. You do not want to go to prison for doing something real stupid out here. Are you prone to road rage? I got to say I'm probably guilty of that myself, is that road rage thing. Every once in a while it'll get to me. Most of the time I just kind of chalk it up to stupid, immature drivers, people that make a U-turn in front of you without signaling, cut you off purposely, or I've even had people, this is California, man, they'll run a stop sign while you're coming down the road. They'll pull right out in front of you, and I just kind of learned to live with it. But if you're the type of person where somebody cuts you off and you go in your personal car, if you chase somebody down in your personal car just to have an argument with them, it's going to translate over to you being in a truck and chasing somebody down. And these trucks can cause a lot of damage and destruction. So if you're prone to road rage, and again, if you don't want to end up in prison for killing someone with this truck, you want to stay off. You want to get that under control before you get on the road. If you see you can't handle that kind of stress, stay off the road altogether. Do you have trouble sleeping? In this industry, in order to make the good money, in order to make the money that you hear about all the other truck drivers make, like your $1,000, your $1,200, your $2,000 a week, you have to endure an irregular sleep schedule. You might start out at 8 in the morning, and then you end at 6 at night, and then you got to get back up at 4 in the morning, and then you got to end your day at 2 in the afternoon, then you got to get up at 12 midnight, and then you got to drive all through the night till, 12 o'clock the next day. It's very irregular. You never go to sleep at the same time every night. So if you have trouble sleeping, you're gonna have a hard time in this industry. You're gonna have a very, very difficult time if you don't run the truck off the road first. Are you suffering from depression? If you're prone to depression, then you need to get help for that. Being on the road is not going to help it, because you can be mentally healthy and you can still fall into a depression out here. So if you're suffering from depression, it's best to save your money up until you get this problem under control. Are you expecting a high-paying job right after training? Guys, I know there are stories of guys who come out and come right off the bat making $1,000 a week, but the chances of that happening are very slim. And if you do get that job, because of your inexperience, you're not going to last very long. You got to remember, some of these employers are very, very desperate for drivers, and they'll put you in that truck and they don't care how much experience you got. Some of them, or a lot of them rather. So they'll send you down the road, and the minute you fall off into a ditch or you get stuck somewhere and mess their equipment up, they're going to fire you. You can expect a high-paying job, but if you don't have that much experience, you probably won't keep it that long. So, guys, get the experience first. Build up your experience, and then the money will come. I mean, the money's there. It's just waiting on you. Get your experience. Are you expecting a child? Are you expecting a young one? Is your wife pregnant? You might want to wait till the baby's born in a few months after. Don't think you're going to get out on the road when your wife is 7 months pregnant or 8 months pregnant, and then you have a baby, and they're going to pull all the stops out to get you back home. so you can be there and see your baby being born. If you're expecting that to happen, then you're gonna be very disappointed, and you probably get angry at the company and quit. So wait until the baby's born, then go on and hit the road. Do you have a violent criminal history? A lot of companies will hire you if you have, or if your criminal history is 7 years in the past. But if you have a violent criminal history, like drawn guns or attempted murder or genocide, stuff like that, you are going to have a very hard time getting hired. It's best to seek an attorney to somehow get your record expunged or something along that lines. But a violent criminal history, you're going to have a very, very, very hard time finding a job, except with owner operators who want to jerk you at every moment. I mean, where you work and they don't want to pay you for the work you've done. Places like that, yeah, you'll get those jobs are everywhere for a guy with a violent criminal history. But work on the violent criminal history. I know, we all know 7 years went by and you learned your lesson, so we understand that. But some of these companies, they don't. So get that taken care of. Don't come into trucking and have the impression that trucking is a part-time gig. If you do that, you're gonna be sadly mistaken. Trucking, there's a 14-hour rule for a reason, because this stuff takes a lot of time a lot of these deliveries take a lot of time to do. So, unless a company specifically states it, this is not part-time. Even a part-time gig is full-time. So get that thinking straight as far as full-time versus part-time. Make sure you have your plans in trucking mapped out at least 5 years in advance, guys. You got to think ahead in this business. If you don't, you'll just find yourself shuffling from job to job, from industry to industry as far as trucking goes. And you'll never be happy. You'll always be disappointed. You'll always feel like you're getting the short end of the stick. And a lot of times you'll see guys advancing way past you. So make sure that you have all your plans, laid out in trucking. Lay them out. Get a 5-year plan together. If you want to go from company to lease to fleet ownership, write it down. Make a plan. Plan it out. If you want to go from a Swift or a Schneider to LTL to eventually a Teamster company, then map that out. Make sure you map your plans out. Do you have excessive points on your license? These are like 3 to maybe 5 points. I mean, starting right off the bat. If you got a lot of points on your license, you're going to have a very difficult time trying to find a job. I had 4 points. I got my license up to 4 points myself. And I had 8 years experience at the time. And nobody would hire me. They hired me based on my experience. But when they saw the points on my license, they turned me down cold. One lady even had me fill out the application on Friday. I brought it back Monday. She said I was hired. Looked at my points. Took my application and ripped it up right in front of me. So keep the points down. If you're looking to get into trucking and you have points, let the points go by. I know it's going to hurt, and I know you want to get in the game really bad, but let the points go by, or let the points drop off and then get into trucking after that. All right, guys, so those are my thoughts on questions you need to ask yourself before you get into trucking. If you have any more to add, please put them down in the description, or leave a comment with some ideas that you have on your own to be added to my list. Okay, guys, all my fellow brothers and sisters out there on the road, you guys, let's keep this industry strong. And I know, there's a lot of negative things about trucking, but the positive things are, hey man, we keep everything moving from East Coast to West Coast, North to South. So let's keep that going, and see you guys in the next video.